21 Rue Phil du Calvaire.
Right. Paris for short.
Yes.
Yeah, in Paris. We thought we'd have another chat.
Yeah. A lot to talk about this time.
Yeah.
Hell of a lot.
Pardon for the tiredness. But yeah, it's been a long couple of weeks, hasn't it? So I guess we thought let's recap the last 2 weeks with UB Milan, Buxton, Paris, and I guess the months leading up to it, and the days leading up to it, and the days after, and blah blah blah. So I guess it all started in January when we decided we were doing Paris, right?
Correct.
So I guess leading up to when we decided to do a showroom, we've obviously been asked by a lot of distribution agents and stuff, haven't we, to represent us in Paris over the years, but we've not done wholesale. Obviously, we've did end since 2020, which has been amazing, but quite quickly with end, we realised because the volume of orders were, so large that we really couldn't afford to add any more wholesale. It was nearly killed us, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
I guess it's a good subject to talk about.
We didn't have the team to support it.
Didn't have the team, didn't have the cash flow, didn't have the experience to manage it.
Yeah.
I guess when you start off and you've got a brand, getting it in a store is the best thing ever, right?
Yeah. It's what you dream of.
It's the only thing what matters.
Yeah.
Like you can do, millions and millions and blah, but for some reason when you've got a brand, the thing that matters is the validation and is the acceptance.
Yeah.
And I feel like for as long as you're just kind of doing the direct to consumer thing online, you still feel like, and not everyone will feel like this, but you do want the industry to accept you, and that's the first step, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like getting it in a big store. So we got in end, over the moon. They were ordering a lot, and we thought it was great. And then suddenly we were like, oh, we've got no stock for our own website. Oh, we've got no stock for end now. It was like, yeah, we really didn't manage it very well.
We didn't even think about our own website. It was just, the big orders from end. Let's get them out.
It's funny because, and that is the wholesale game. And usually you pick, now it's like it's a hybrid model of wholesale and D2C. And they say the perfect percentage is what, like 30% wholesale, 70% D2C, web and retail. But I guess historically speaking, wholesale's always been like 90% before e-commerce, right?
Yeah.
And the good thing about it is, and we kind of found, you're writing your P&L 6 months, 12 months in advance, so you know where you're at. So you get your orders in.
Yeah.
That's how much money you get in.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously D2C is a lot more volatile, albeit more profitable, and that's why more people do it now.
Yeah, there's still a lot of D2C is all risk.
Yeah.
Because you've got to get it made.
Yeah.
Then you've got to drop it, and then you've got to hope that you sell at least enough to cover what you've paid to make it. So
yeah.
it's
risk reward, right?
Yeah.
So like you take the risk and you get rewarded 4 or 5 times what you do wholesale.
Yeah.
But it's the risk. So like the historical model of wholesale is less risky. You know how much money you make and blah 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 blah. So that's all good. And I guess we got that feeling we're end. But we're a D2C brand, we're a D2C business, so it didn't work. Aha. Pause that one.
Ahoy.
Keep rolling though. But
Yeah, come on.
yeah.
Can bring them in.
Fucking- I was a bit awkward, aren't you, bless you? Thank you, Hector.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
No oat milk. Thank you.
Oh, cheers, Hector. So we're, a direct-to-consumer brand, so it naturally, doesn't work like that. Our website is the most important thing to the business, and so it forced us, short story, it forced us to say no to all the wholesale interest that we got off the back of launching, with End, and we've not put it anywhere else since, and it's 2023 now.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3 years. April 2020 was when we launched, so it's been 3 years. But at the start of the year, we felt like we were in a better position to handle wholesale.
I can't believe it's been 3 years.
I can't believe it's been 3 years. I can't.
It's been 3 years since the day we were in Tottenham, packing the wholesale order ourselves. No packing list.
In the boxes.
Cardboard
Go
boxes.
get the biggest boxes you can. Yeah. Why?
The packing list was...
How big was the box?
Right on the box with a Sharpie, what's in it?
And the box was 1 metre by 1 metre?
1 metre by 1 metre, yeah.
Which doesn't sound that big, but like, you got to remember, like, everything you put in a box, you're just making it heavier.
Yeah.
And they were like single ply as well.
We filled it to the top. It would have been what? 40 kilo a box?
Yeah, well, put it this way.
Single ply cardboard?
Put it this way, the first order we got into 6 boxes.
Yeah.
Now, usually that would probably be like 30 boxes,
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's been 3 years
Wow.
since we drove up and delivered it
In a
ourselves.
Sprinter.
It was a Transit,
Was it a Transit?
yeah. Or is that
Or a
just
big
you
Sprinter.
dropping,
I thought it were a big
trying to drop like Central C and Div kind of
Yeah,
thing? It was a Transit.
Was it a Transit?
And it was
Yeah.
only, and I know it was a Transit because they give us a Vito van, and I went, no, I need a bigger van. And we didn't need a bigger van, but I just wanted the biggest Transit van. So we got a
Yeah.
long wheelbase, what are they called, the ones with the height on as well?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we drove up together and dropped it off by hand.
And that's the first time you experienced my driving.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've never drove again
I don't
since.
know if we've told this story before, but we drove up. Obviously, we were excited, really excited. I still put it down as one of the best moments of the Buxton journey for me personally. Like, I remember being really happy, really excited, like true, like just radiating, like just happiness, proud. Like, every feeling was like.
It was
I remember.
It was a pinch me.
We got champagne out on when we
surreal
launched.
moment. Yeah.
And it all sold out, and we were
Yeah.
like, that was the level, which is like. But I remember we drove up. We left at like 2 a.m. in the morning. I don't even know why we did all this. We were just so excited, weren't we?
Yeah.
Drove up 2 a.m. Got there for like when it opened, and it was like a 5-hour drive or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got there, but it was in the middle of COVID, fresh in lockdown COVID. Now in London, COVID was a load of bollocks, so like it didn't exist, as in the lockdowns didn't exist, as in the rules, the general feeling was that no one gave a fuck. That was London, right?
Yeah.
And it was just so we would naturally like, doing what we want. By that I mean we were just going to work every day, we weren't working from home, blah, blah, blah. Got up there, and we just forgot all this. We got there, dropped it off. At first, they didn't even let us in or anything.
Well, I went to go in the reception, didn't
Yeah,
I? Went
and
to
they
open
were
the
like-
door, and the woman was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I was like, whoa, Buxton, we've got a delivery for End.
Just presuming they knew who you were.
Didn't have a clue, just some fucking receptionist. As if she's going to know.
I'm called Buxton. Like,
Never
do you
heard
not
of
know? Yeah, and then obviously we delivered it, and then we were like, fuck, like, so we went to go for some food. It was fucking lockdown. It was shut.
Yeah.
So then we were just like, all right, well, we'll just drive back. So we literally drove straight back to London. And I was like, at this point, I'm going to sleep all night, drive. And I didn't even give him a chance. I was that tired, because I was like, I do this thing where I fall asleep in the car sometimes, allegedly.
Every time you drive.
Allegedly. And I just was like this. And we hit the fucking do a few, and I went, so I just pulled into it. It wasn't even a fucking, it
Hard
was like
shoulder.
the hard shoulder, but like the bit where you're not supposed to pull over.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I went, mate, you're driving. Didn't give you a chance.
Didn't even give me a chance to breathe.
Nothing.
So before I knew it, I'm sat in driver's seat, trying to remember how to even no, I couldn't put it in gear. Couldn't put it in. I can't remember why I couldn't put it in
literally
gear.
was like that. All I remember is getting out and then waking up.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Yeah.
And waking up to fucking you in second gear doing 90 mile an hour, revving the arse off this transit.
Yes.
And I was like,
But shall we tell them why I were doing that?
well,
Because I couldn't see.
I know how you
Because I
say
didn't
that.
have my
but
contact lenses in.
I know you say that you can't see, but like, if I had my eyes shut, I'd know that like revving the arse off a van in second gear at 90 mile an hour, like, you just not.
Yeah, you would.
No, you just not. And it's got cruise control, so I don't even know why you fucking doing.
Because I was used to driving a fucking 2000 Ford Focus.
So I wake up like this, and I'm like, and it's like, wah. I'm like, what the fuck? I look over, and he's like this,
Trying
like
to see.
literally like this. And I looked at the speed. I was like, "Cool, you're doing 90 mile an hour," and he went, "Am I?" And I went, "Whoa, slow down, slow down." Put it into, and I put it into fifth for him. I was like, "You've got cruise control, blah blah blah," and we pulled in straight away, sopped over.
It was horrible.
And that was the last
My
time I
anxiety
drove.
was through the roof, man.
Yeah,
You don't understand what it's like when you can't see.
yeah.
And without contact lenses, I literally cannot see. But yeah,
Well,
I've never drove again since for you, so
we're not a manual anyway. But yeah, so that was what it looked like back then, I guess. So fast forward, and we're in January. Like, I think it's time to do wholesale. I think the brand's in the right place. I think the business is in the right place. I think we've got a lot more experience to do it and do it well, and for it to grow the brand, new territories, existing territories that are already big from a D2C level. But as we know, like, our clothing belongs in a store.
yeah.
Like, every buy this week has just been like, like, this is unbelievable the way it feels, all that. So it's like, we want it in as many stores as possible that we like. But a very small boot, right? A very, very, very small list of doors. So we decided that in January. We flew, we got the train over here, viewed a few showrooms, chose this one, awesome. And then it was like, must have been 2 months ago, I was like, so cool, show me SS24 then. And he was like, yeah, I've just been working on some stuff. He looked a bit white, and then I didn't see him for like 2 weeks. He just went missing, literally. And I see him every day. He just went missing. I'd come in the office, like, where's Cole? I mean, obviously you'll tell, you know what happened in that 2 weeks. I don't. I went with you.
No, you wasn't. Nobody was allowed to be with me within those 2 weeks. No way. Because it was 2 weeks of, well, it was, how many days is in 2 weeks?
Depends who you ask.
14. So it was 11 days of nothing and stress and 3 days of solid design. That's what it was.
I mean, that sounds about right like, that's how it works, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
if you've got, where it works, say 5 days a week, like, you've probably got 8 good hours in that week, like,
At best.
naturally,
Yeah.
at best. And that's just how it is, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you basically didn't have much when I asked.
I didn't have anything.
And then 2 weeks later, you had everything and more.
Yeah.
To the point where we had to really trim down
Yeah.
the whole thing. And there was some amazing stuff that didn't make the cut. And, and there was some stuff that then went on to develop new, I guess, stories within the season and capsules. And it's strange because obviously to get to that point where you just go and do that, obviously a lot of things have got to happen. So it's not just like, it's like that kind of overnight success kind of fucking thing where it's like, it takes like 10 years to become an overnight success or whatever. It's like, it took like those years of, the good and the bad suppliers, the years of different team rotation and new people coming in, the years of experience, years of taste level rising, execution level rising. Understanding yourself though, I think, which is the thing that I'll probably touch on here, is me and you have always did everything together. And in the last, like, I'd probably say 6 months, we haven't. But in the last 2 months especially, you've literally found your place in, I don't know, the new organisational structure, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, I agree.
But for 6 months, the 3 months before that or whatever it's been, it was the same new structure or whatever.
Yeah,
But there was a journey to get to the place where you found where you could be and be your best person for your, you know, in a personal way and for the brand.
yeah. It's kind of, let's talk before the new structure that we've got. It was kind of 4.5 years of me and you doing every single aspect of the business.
Yeah.
Whether that's deliveries, orders, design, shipping ourselves, like every single thing that has to happen in a clothing brand, we were doing. So the design always took a back seat because it wasn't the main thing. Because it was only the collection, well, there was no collection, it was single items.
Yeah.
So there was like 2 or 3 days of design throughout the year, and the rest was operational, getting it out and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, it kind of, up until, but even when we bought the new structure in, you know, of team of people that take care of, when did we bring everyone in that we've got now? Like the solid team that we've got, like, was it January, would we say, when we bought Sarah?
I think this year we started with a different mindset to whatever we'd had before.
Yeah.
I think we'd learned from the 2 year, like I think 2021 and 2022, we learned a lot from both those years, but they both had a different title, you know, like they had a different title.
Yeah.
2022, I think for us was the start of the year was kind of rescuing things.
Yeah.
And trying to rescue it ourselves. We'd got us into that mess, whether it was our fault or not. We wanted to get ourselves out of this mess.
Yeah.
Through our own hard work, decision making and strategy, to the point where we didn't have to say, you know, take in money at a time when we were vulnerable. You know, when we do want to expand and scale the business, we want to do it from a place of strength, not when we need rescue capital.
Yeah.
So that was very much a conversation we had last year, where we were like, right, well, let's get. So that was last year, and then it was adjusting and rebuilding the team all of last year, and rebuilding the team to the means that we could, but looking at what we need. Who do we need in that position, that position, that position, that position, and then looking for them.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that the end of last year was so good, and it just fell that was when the team started slotting in that January, February period.
Yeah.
That's when we started to kind of form the new team.
Yeah.
And all the existing team had newer positions with a better management system from me. But that just, I think new year, like, matters a lot more to me now in business than it ever has in my life. I really do look at it now as a...
Why is that?
Because I never really give a fuck I never really cared about time until I had a business.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like a good time to kind of draw a line and go. I think the problem is some things are so infinite and everlasting running the business that you almost feel like they become a burden almost.
Yeah.
And even the good things as well. I think you can cling on to good things a bit too much, and I've never been sentimental really, and I like to be that way where you go the good and the bad, you know, you cut it free and you start again. And I've always felt like for us over the last few years, that new year has very much been, whether it's been a good like resetting point or a bad one, it's always been around there, where you go, right, like we've always had big conversations and meetings the first week of January, like, you know, what we're doing here, you know, and I just don't know, I felt like as we've matured in the business, it's been a very important point every year to just look at it and go, you know, obviously you would usually say that would be the financial year, that the fiscal year rather than annual year, but I don't belong to that. I belong to the annual year. That's where I feel like it stops and it starts. And I think yeah, I think that, and it just found that a lot changed then, you know, for us. And then I guess as that started, it wasn't easy because suddenly, although all these new people were amazing and better than we could ever be in each position, there was I guess a transition.
It was a transition, and I still remember, like, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good for me at all, because, like, for the longest time I was saying to you, we were both saying to each other, we need a production manager.
Yeah.
That's going to be the key to take loads of weight off, and then I'm going to get freed up to do loads of design. So we hired Sarah. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best
key
things.
hire.
Yeah.
Key hire.
An unbelievable person.
And we brought her in, and obviously she's cracking on, and then, like, almost straight away, although she was working her bollocks off, she was like, I'm getting overwhelmed here. Because of the bad practices leading up to it, it was hard for her to see where we were at with productions. There was no management in place, there was no system, so she had to do all that. And then I still wasn't involved, like, she took it right off my plate. But then suddenly I'm sitting there and I'm like, I mean, and this went on for months, probably. When did we bring her in? January?
She started mid-January.
Mid-Jan.
We got back from our like R&D trip that we went on for the most of January. We got back end of January. So naturally, like, we got back and, you know, it was probably February when our year, when it, like, you know, when we got back into work, studio work, you know.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, we brought Sarah in, she took loads of weight off my shoulders, but I was still sitting there every day in the office and being like, and just feeling like I didn't know what to do. Literally. I thought it was going to be this big relief, and it wasn't, basically. I really did. I thought it was going to give me loads of, like, room to just get inspired and all this kind of stuff.
And why wasn't it a relief, and what was it?
It was, to tell you the truth, it gave me mad anxiety. It really did. And it was like a feeling of embarrassment every day. I'm going up to my own office, my own brand that I own with you, and I'm sitting in there, surrounded by, on a desk full of people, and every single person in the office knows what they're doing apart from me. And that was the feeling. And it was bad.
Yeah.
And it was hard, and I was at a conflict with it because I was like, this brand has given us an amazing life, right? It's given us everything we've got today. But at the same time, it was killing me, and it was making me sad for months.
I remember you text me like a long message, and I can't remember what triggered it. There was something happened.
I had to leave the office.
You had a really bad panic attack, didn't you?
It was horrendous. I was sat there, and, like, I can't remember what brought it on. It was obviously this feeling what brought it on, but I was just sat there. Everyone was in there, it felt dead noisy. Everyone was cracking on with what they were doing. I just couldn't take it, and it just, like, overcame me. So I thought, fuck, I've got to get out of here. Went for a walk for like 2 hours. I thought, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm going to come back to the office and just face it. Came back in the office and I was like, nah, picked my stuff up and I just fucking left. I said to Sarah, I'm so sorry, I cannot be here right now.
Yeah.
I literally cannot. And I couldn't even figure out, well, I could figure out why it was. It was because I was so lost. It was, and I was getting no
I think you figured it out, because the text that you sent me was very much like you knew what was up, but what you didn't know was, what it was, you know, because we've never had to speak to each other like that, because we've known when each other, you know, like we've kind of had a telepathic understanding of each other.
Yeah.
But that one was so, like, I guess, extreme in a sense, and we were both kind of having our own independent battles with for different reasons. Like, we were both going through our own, like, mental challenges that we actually just couldn't be there for each other at that time. It was not possible, because evidently we couldn't be there for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like one of those times where it was completely different for each person, but like for different reasons, sorry, and whatever. But I remember you sent me a message and like, it was like, what it was you were just struggling to find your place in the new Club Buxton, I guess.
Yeah.
And
I also had an unbelievable guilt about feeling like that, because I was like, what was also stressing me out was that I was thinking, is he just looking at me thinking I'm doing fuck all every day? Because like, we will both work every day God gives us. I've never fucking been lazy, and neither of you.
You've never,
and we've never had to call each other out on it.
No.
But I was conscious, I was thinking, is he thinking I'm just dossing it off every day? Because I was still in the office. I was still there. I wasn't doing anything. I was just fucking sitting there. And I remember thinking, I mean, at that time specifically, you did have a million jobs on your plate.
Yeah.
It was probably the busiest period for you. It was mental.
Yeah, it was horrible.
It was finance stuff, it was strategy, it was bringing in new people, it was firing people, figuring out marketing. You were even doing fucking design and shooting it. I was like, how can I be feeling like this when he's like doing this and I haven't heard a peep from you, and you haven't stressed out, you haven't flipped out, there's been no reaction out of you, from your own part. And it was stressing me out, and then I just had to, that day killed me, and then I forgot we'd even sign up to this. Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought, it's fine, we'll just fucking, if it comes to it, we'll just show them warm-up stuff, and like, it's new accounts anyway, they've never seen it, have they? So they can see warm-up stuff, they can see down jackets, socks, international caps, blah, blah, blah. And like, but between having that, that bad day that I had, it didn't get better. It just didn't get better. I just was able to keep it under wraps. The anxiety thing was the big day, and then I was just able to just exist like that for months, and that happened in what, Feb, probably? I think
March? From February till April, you were there, that's where you were, in that thing. Yeah. Probably from February to April.
And I was like...
But it was weird, because I didn't really know what to tell you or how to help you.
And in all honesty, I don't think you could have. Because looking back, I had to get myself out of it.
Well, I think what it was...
To feel anything.
I think what you did was, you were lost because you weren't jumping into, what you've done now, you've jumped into that role. You were kind of still looking over the edge kind of thing. And I think also obviously between me and you, we have very different measurements of success and your best work will come just sometimes from just you being in the room, or you've got a bit of a magic thing of you just know certain things and how certain things should be, whether it's graphic placements, whether it's certain fabric choices, where a zip should go. It can be as subtle as that, or it can be as big as doing this whole collection that you've done. But it's not a case of you're not a mathematician, you're not a fucking engineer. You're not doing it's not 5 days a week you're doing the same workload and people are expecting the same output. And I think for me, because I'm not as naturally kind of talented as you are, and as kind of I'd put you and Adi in the same bracket as that. You could do half a day's work a week and you'll do better work than I might do over 5 days. But my sheer volume of work is that's just how I work. It's volume. It's not. I can't if I'm doing 100 things, it's kind of 10 of them might be good things kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's and that's a challenge in itself to fix, which I think I've fixed in the last myself, and that's the thing what I was struggling with, just overwhelming everyone with just trying to do everything because I'm just a control freak. But it's just, that is the opposite side of what you're talking about. That was causing me just as much stress. It's you know what I mean?
And I've actually found, like now to this day, I've actually found a lot of peace in what you've just spoke about. Like I was trying to match your work hours just by being in the office.
Yeah.
Like thinking like, well, if he's doing...
But you know me, I'm in that office, yeah, from like 6 till... Sometimes it might be like that, maybe 6 till 8, or maybe 6 till 12.
Yeah.
But that's because that's my time where I actually do my work. I've been in the office from like 10 till 6, where everyone else, I've probably did nothing.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
All I did is do all the CEO bollocks.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it doesn't really, I don't think gives us much, it doesn't push the business forward at all. It's just, I'm just doing I'm in a service role. So it's like meetings, calls all day, just a volume of shite.
Yeah.
But obviously we built the brand together based on what you do and what I do. It was not that. It was like, you know, we know how to take this brand and market it and certain ways of strategy and making people care and inviting the community in. All these things that are what really are the most important things, what I bring to the table, I can't do in those hours of like 10 till 6 because like I'm just fucking talking to fucking cunts all day. Like
everyone's trying to get a piece.
Just and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I feel like nothing's happened and I've been busy and it's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
So I'll sit in the office 6 till wherever just to actually get me good work done, where I actually go home and I feel fulfilled. Because I can have a full day at work and I go home and I feel like I've done nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like the worst feeling ever. And it goes back to that feeling what you were having and what everyone has. Like if you're not feeling fulfilled in that, like it's shite. You know? The whole point of it is that.
Yeah. You start to resent it. You start to resent the thing that you love, and like, and that's exactly what happened with me. I mean, I think if I'd have carried on feeling how I was feeling, I think one more month of feeling like that, I probably would have had to have a conversation and be like, I don't think I can do this no more. Just because no money on earth was worth feeling like that every day. And it's supposed to be, it's my name. It started it out of, we started it out of passion and love, and it was killing me like that. So it was like, yeah, it was awful. It was awful. And then, you asked me about the showroom, and I was like, yeah, okay. Okay. And it was like all these ideas that I'd had, and it was even with the clothes, I'd started to have like a disconnect from any of the stuff we were putting out. I weren't wearing it.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
It's weird. The first thing obviously we decided we were going to film this a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And naturally, I just write down random shit. The thing at the top is, if it's good, then Cole will wear it. Yeah. It's at the top of my notes.
Love that.
Because that's...
And it's fucking true.
It's true.
Well, I've just said it without you telling me,
Yeah.
It's
true.
Yeah.
And that's the measure.
Yeah.
Because fuck me, I wear it all.
Yeah.
You're a lot more considered.
Yeah.
But if it's your fucking brand...
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah... So you obviously spent you went missing for 2 weeks, you come back with a collection, but what happened?
What happened was, I thought, this is kind of, this is like do or die now. Yeah. I'm gonna lock myself away. I don't care if you want me in the office, I don't care if anyone wants me in the office. I can't design when I'm in that office. If it's coming up with ideas and stuff, I can do all the stuff that comes after that, but I know now what needs to happen for me to be in the zone, basically. Yeah. I need no distraction. Yeah. I need my own music in that I'm not allowed to play in the office. No. Because everyone hates it. It's just horrendous. But I know that's like a big thing, and like this collection was, it happened. I bashed it all out in 3 days, but it wasn't 3 days worth of work. It was leading up to this. It was.
But this stuff's been in your iPad for like the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Like, in ways.
Yeah.
Some stuff's been there in your iPad for 12 months, and it's it's a collection.
Yeah.
We've not been designing collections.
Never.
We've been designing drops, and obviously, I think over the last 2 months, we've slowed down the new drops and stuff to give us. To say it was a strategic thing to give us space would be a lie. It would sound good, but the first month was like me just, well, I said it to you, I was like, oh, I've just decided that I don't give a fuck about anything at the minute, and all I care about is the fashion, is Paris.
Yeah.
So I'm not answering emails, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that.
And you stuck to it?
Stuck to it, and then it was a thing of like, right, okay, well, let's do it this month as well. I think we need that space to get the collection right.
Yeah.
It's a collection, so like you said, we're designing drops. So there's stuff on there that like doesn't make sense just as a drop.
Yeah.
But as you started to build it into a collection, you went, right, okay, there's a place for that now. That just needed a better graphic.
Yeah.
And it's 3 days of work, but it's, you know, probably 12 months of designs and fabric sourcing. You know, there's fabrics in there that we sourced last year.
Yeah.
In Europe, there's stuff that we got, you know, when we went to Asia, you know, there's like, but it was that moment where in 3 days, you just went, right, and it was like, boom.
Yeah. And
it was flow state, obviously.
And it was fucking hundreds of ideas.
Yeah.
Like, I sent you that over and it was like, it was, I couldn't believe how much there was when I transferred it all over to my laptop. I was like, fucking hell, there's a lot to pick from here.
Yeah.
You know, and it
well,
was
usually you airdrop me shit, yeah?
Yeah.
But this one was a fucking WeTransfer.
It was a WeTransfer. It was gigs.
Look how far we've come.
It wasn't megs, it was gigs. But it was, and you know, it was like, it was all these ideas that, you know, they come to me. I can't go out and find them.
No.
I can't force it. I literally can't. Like, things come to me when, you know, I'm fucking running, or I'm in the shower, or I'm sat in your passenger seat. And how I do it is like, it just pops in my head and I'm like, I wonder if that would work. And then I just make a note of it. So I had hundreds of notes on my phone of like, oh, this shirt in this fabric with this graphic, this jacket in this fabric in this colour, like all this, literally as simple as that. And then what that means is I can go back and I can look at it and I can just draw out each one, dead simple, whatever. And then like, as you draw it out, you go, fucking hell, let's put that zip on it. Like, that's honestly how I did it.
Archived thoughts.
Archived thoughts, yeah.
You know, like, and I think you made a good point there, like writing it down in your notes. Like I've always did that, and it's like there's something about putting it into word format that just puts a bit more of a stamp in your brain. You know, like it just you know, writing that, typing it out. It's just it's wicked. And you went, obviously, you did that 3 days, and it was like, and then we sat down, went through everything, and you know, like.
Well, let me tell you, I need a snuzz in for this one, actually. I'll tell you. It's
Shoot me one. What?
It was like, I drew it all up, and I said to you, look, well, you text me being like, oh, how's it going? And I was like, well, it's going good. I'll probably have it done by, did I say Wednesday night or something? And then it came to Friday, and I still hadn't sent it yet. Because I was still just adding. Things just kept popping into my head and kept coming. And then I think I sent it on the Monday. And when I was about to send it, I was sat at my dining room table and I said to my missus, I was like, I don't know if I can send this. I was like, this is stressing me out. It was like, you know when you're about to send a risky text and it's like, send it and then just fucking go. And I did it and I was like, oh my God, I feel physically sick. I was like, this is awful. And then I sent it to you, and I didn't hear anything for a few days, and I was like, I fucked it. There's not one thing on there that he thinks is good. I was like, I have completely fucked this. And still didn't hear anything. Now, I was thinking, has he even opened it? I'm going to ask him if he's even opened it. I was like, no, don't ask him, because if it's shit and everyone's in the office, they're going to say, yeah, I've opened it, and it's fucking shite. And then I remember you were sat on the settee in the studio and you just started texting me shit, didn't you? You were taking photos of what you loved and going, yes, love this, do it in this colour, we'll do this, this and that. And you just sent me about 6 in a row and I was like, oh, there's 6 things on here that you think is good. I was like, whoa, I was like, I fucking nailed this. And then you just kept doing it. And then that was the best thing ever that you could have done actually, because as soon as you sent it me, rather than having this chat and me having to sit with you and watch you look through it and see if you liked anything. But yeah, it was just it was a nice way to do it.
We're very much the same in terms of we need our own space to to make the independent decision or the independent creative process. It's our brand, so we need that headspace. But as much as it's our brand, I think the transformation over the last 6 months has been, I've purposely, this is your collection, it's not mine. Everything we've done to this day has been me and you, but this is yours. I didn't design anything. I merchandised it and done the buy-in of we'll do that colour, and that. We'll drop that, but in terms of from a design and a collection, it was all you. And obviously it's been all you from the start of when it was May or whatever, when it all started. I purposely and it was tough at first. Well, it was tough the whole way, to be honest, even until we got it out on Saturday, to be just do not say anything. Don't get involved. Just don't. Because I didn't want to taint it like I always do with my thing. Because once I start, I can't just do it. It's and it was the best thing we ever did.
Yeah.
The best thing we ever did for the brand, for you, for me. The best thing. But that's what happened. It was this is you. You're doing this.
Yeah.
And yes, I'll pick what's going to come out and what's not. But that's not a design conversation. That's what we're going to sell. How we're going to, what the strategy is on the collection, which parts we're going to deliver when. It's not a design conversation. The design conversation was between you, the girls, Constance, Emma, and then Sarah, and then Katie on development.
Yeah.
So it was you and the girls just jumped, and it was so exciting. I've never had excitement like that because it didn't feel like it felt like I was shopping.
Yeah.
When we set it all up on Saturday, I was like,
yeah, man.
It was like I was in a shop.
Yeah.
And I just was want that, trying it on, and it was the best ever. And that's how it is now.
Yeah.
But that's 6 months to get there for us, on our independent journeys to get there. That's 6 months of reconfiguring our brains and our instincts and our kind of, subconscious to build the new way of doing it, which is better, but naturally it's muscle memory. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me to come over and be move that, and it's no, back off. I've always I've never had the natural design in me that you do, and that's why you do your magic in your own way, and then I do my work in a different way. So it's for as long as that it's a micromanagement thing, and it's just and then we got it out, and it was the first time ever we've had a brand.
Yeah.
First time ever.
Yeah.
First time ever. And even on Tuesday, I mean, fuck me, the week, what was it? It was, so obviously we were in Milan for UVU, and we had our Paris pop-up at Pablo's, which was sick. A lovely moment to be part of that story.
Yeah.
We did the UVU thing out with Buxton, countless other amazing brands. To be there, that was crazy, but to do it was just a logistic fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Back from Milan, fucking thunderstorm, fucking got home fucking this.
I thought I were gone. Thought I were done for.
Yeah, I was fuck. And all three, me, you and Asia on the same plane. We need to get separate planes. Going to Paris on the Tuesday, come back Tuesday night to then shoot the fucking editorial and lookbook for the collection on Wednesday. We'd not seen it on models yet or anything.
No.
And then I was and then I went to start styling it with you, and I was no, stop. And I just sat on the sofa at the back of the room, just not doing anything, just stopping myself.
Well, look what happened. The first look I put together was shit.
Yeah.
It was crap.
Yeah.
And it was because you said, right, you need to start styling this. So I did. And because I had everyone around me, and you were there, and every single person involved in that shoot was stood around looking like that. I know now I cannot work like that at all. I just need the space.
Yeah.
And look what happened after that.
Yeah.
It was I was just reeling off these I was putting things together, putting them on that model, and I was fucking hell, this is this is a proper brand. Like this is proper shit, man. This is the
yeah.
I felt like, you know,
obviously you were there doing all that. I was literally not. I removed myself from that geographical location, so I couldn't see all that. So I didn't have that feeling yet till Saturday.
Yeah.
And then again, like we got it all in, and then like a couple of the team were like, "Oh, start," and I was like, "No, everyone, fuck off. Let Cole just fucking do his work." And you spent hours doing it, and I just kept out of it. And then I stood there and like looked around. And I was like, "Oh my fucking god! Like we're a brand." Everyone who's come to the showroom has probably had the preconception of what they were going to see.
Yeah.
You know, loads of fucking graphic T-shirts.
Yeah.
With Cole Buxton on. And
Yeah.
loads of sportswear stuff, like, and it ain't that.
No.
It ain't that. It's like, and I mean, even you had like, you know, buying director of Selfridges literally picking every single thing up, saying like, this feels fucking like, this feels luxury. Every single thing I pick up, it feels different. It feels expensive. It feels thought out. Nothing feels anything like other than luxury.
Yeah.
And we were like,
yeah. I couldn't be.
And I wasn't shocked though. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. We had some unbelievable things said. You know, like, and of course, like, you think like, you know, of course things get said and you would usually take it with a pinch of salt, but I believed everything that was said. That was the difference.
Yeah.
You know, we had the end guys, you know, Dean was like, this is the best thing I've seen all week. I believed it when he said it.
Yeah.
He was not just kind of blowing smoke or arse.
No.
It was real.
Yeah.
Bossy said the same thing. You know, you've got like, Mark was like, this is, he actually said, thank God.
Yeah.
This is good, because stuff's been a bit slow this week. I haven't seen much good stuff this week. This is the best thing I've seen all week.
Yeah.
I believed it.
Yeah.
So like,
Me too.
that's why I can say it. That's why I can refer to it, because it's biblical.
Yeah.
You know, it is it.
Yeah.
So you had that, and then you had what it felt like on the Saturday when we had it all out, and you're like, you know, this is a new book. It's not a new chapter, it's a new book.
Yeah.
Volume 1 done. Volume 2 is starting now.
Yeah.
And you know, in the next 6 months, I guess people will see that, and you know, the next few years, people, you know, obviously.
I think there's a level of respect that's going to come with
Yeah.
this moment, this week, this collection. It's like, whatever they thought of the brand up to now, yeah, we've existed, we've made money, you know, we've made a bit of noise. Like, this is the respect that we wanted the whole time.
We've been making noise for 5 years, but like, we didn't care about all that. We, for, I guess, selfish reasons, just wanted to be accepted as a menswear fashion label.
Yeah.
With, you know, like, of a high order, of something that is separate to anything else in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's bigger brands. Yes, there's brands making an incredible amount of money with huge success, which is fantastic. But we just have a separate mission, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, a separate direction with, you know, just a different wants and needs from this giant one. But that being said, that's all well good saying that, but like, there's actually doing it and doing the things to get you there. We've always said that it's been the same objective from the start.
Yeah.
We've not done anything to get us there.
No.
We've just made really good clothes, over-delivered on quality, made some really identifiable product, really amazing product in individual, but we've never did it all like this, you know, as a whole collection, as a whole delivery, as a, you know, as one title. So I think, yeah, Saturday was probably a moment that, you know, will go down on that list of like top moments of this journey, of this brand, where, and it was like, yeah, like this is amazing. And then, you know, and then I think the footwear is like something that is really like the cherry on top of everything. You know, it's like, I never ever thought I'd be able to design a shoe. I never thought we'd ever launch any footwear because we're so snobby.
So snobby, man.
You know what I mean?
So
it's
snobby.
like, when everyone's asked in the past, I'm like, nah, I wouldn't even touch it.
Yeah.
I was so scared
Yeah.
of the embarrassment of doing something shit,
Mm-hmm.
doing something I wouldn't actually want to wear.
Yeah.
Like, all of that.
Yeah. And, you know, we talked about you taking yourself out of, or giving me space to let me do what I'm good at, the only thing I know. I'm not a footwear designer, and I'm not. And I've kind of did the same thing with you with the footwear.
Yeah.
I let you take the reins on that. You had way more, from the start, you know, yeah, we never said in the past we were going to do footwear, but like, you had much more of an idea of what you wanted. I knew when I saw it, I'd be like, yeah, but I didn't know how it looked. I didn't know how it felt. I couldn't see it in my head, but you could. And I kind of did the same thing with you with the shoe.
Yeah, no, and I felt that space, Who the fuck's ringing me, man?
Taxman.
Fuck, man. Piss off. Yeah, no, I felt that space. And it's a good space. It's like a space where you can speak without feeling self-conscious about your ideas. I think that's the most important bit there, is true exploration of design, which is design. Design is mistakes more than successes, because fundamentally it comes down to one silhouette, one unit, one pair of trainers.
Yeah.
So naturally there's a whole load of mistakes along the journey to get there. But I remember when I showed you the silhouette last summer, the kind of reference point, and I was like, I hope he sees it, how I'm seeing it, because I saw it. And you know, the reference point is very obviously different to what we've ended up with, but it's a classic reference point. And I was like, and I showed you the photo, and it was like, do you see it?
Yeah. That's a hard thing to do. I struggle with the same thing. It's like I know you sent me that directly and you had to ask me, but when we're like, say we're in the office and you ask me, you know, or even if I can feel you and the rest of the team overhear me, like, speak on an idea or say an answer to a design-related question, I find it very hard to do. Very hard. Because I don't like it, and I feel like I'm getting judged on it.
Yeah.
And I would rather be like, let me just make it, and then let me see if you like it.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It's really hard. Loads of things sound shit when you speak them out loud.
Yeah.
Especially if the other person can't quite tell what you're getting at.
And you feel it.
You feel it, man.
And then you change it.
Yeah.
You change direction, and
Yeah.
you never actually get there.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the point. It's
Yeah.
like, so what chips in along the way, it's
Yeah.
different then. The
Yeah.
result is different.
Yeah.
And it's not what you wanted it
Yeah.
to be or whatever, and you can't go on your own journey of discovery on it, and it's like, that's the point, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's like, and that was the journey for the collection, that was the journey for the sneaker. And like, yeah, it was just cool to design something, and you go, I can't wait to wear that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait. Like, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, when's the drop date? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny because obviously, like, we've been like very vocal on, like, not one person's been allowed to take a photo of it. I remember the buyer from the German buyer. I'll not say the store name because we only met him the other day. But it's from one of the best department stores in Germany. And he took a photo of it, and I like the photo in my hands off it as well. I was like, sorry, you can't take a photo of it. Because, you know, it's like fucking everything we do gets fucking rinsed.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that'll happen and it happens with everything, but like,
it can't happen now,
you know,
before
at least
it's
give
even
us
out.
a chance to get it out, you know, like, at least give us a chance. Like, I want to leak it before anyone. Shut the fuck up. And so yeah, that was like, but the shoe was almost like the you know, that just fucking crescendo of like, you know, we walked everyone around anti-clockwise, and then at the end was the shoe on the shoe box, and it was like this is it.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
we have arrived.
Yeah, like Italian.
Yeah.
Italian.
You got to keep saying Italian, man, because
I'm like, it's fucking Italian.
It's so important.
And it's not just like, it's the most purest form of Italian design, construction, fabric sourcing, feel, everything.
Process.
It's got it's heavy, but it's not, it's got weight to it. It's not heavy, but it's got weight to it. It's, obviously.
Trying not to give it away, aren't you?
I'm trying to stop
not to describe it too much.
Things. It's just fucking mint, basically. And 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 the name's cool. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah. You've earned that name.
Yeah. The name's. It's going to be nice, that, for sure. And but yeah, I guess fucking. I mean, obviously, as you can, we're fucking knackered. Yeah. I mean, we did. The wholesale thing was like, let's pick the best stores globally, and get them in, not like get every cunt in. Fucking, you know.
Thank God.
Thank God, because I don't know, like.
I don't know how buyers do it.
We did about 5 appointments a day.
It is exhausting, man.
It's like, wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I mean, I wonder what bad appointments are like, because fuck me, they must try to bend. But, thankfully it's been deservedly, it's all went super well. But I guess now it's about, working on not the next collection, but all of the great pop-up opportunities that we've got to launch with all these new stores that we're launching with globally. Mm-hmm. We've been offered a lot of great pop-up opportunity with pretty much most of them. Germany, Italy, obviously UK, some great pop-up opportunities there that we're going to do. So it's almost like, fuck me, I thought we were going to have a couple of weeks off after this, but it's not looking that way.
I know. No.
It's a train back tonight and it's back in the office in the morning. But yeah, it's like, it's going to be, strike while the iron's hot, because it's good to, while you're still in the mood for it. But yeah, I think that was one of the funny things, what someone said. Who was it? Well, I'll not say who it was. But, and this is, I mean, Aimé Leon Dore, probably of our generation, like the best brand, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
we wear a little bit of it, but we're not talking about it from a choice of what we wear. We're talking about what they've done, they're of our generation. Yeah. So there's a load of amazing brands that we love, but from our generation, it's like Aimé Leon Dore is the brand. Like, what he has done with that brand and how they've changed, just every, and I think they started something new, which is very hard to do in fashion,
And I think whatever they touch kind of brings a load of energy.
Yeah.
Like whenever they open a store, it's like, even if it's in a dead area, like they've suddenly made that area, they've filled it with energy and they've filled it with excitement. And
there's something to be said about, everyone always talks about, like, we're looking at opening stores in other countries at the minute and stuff, and it's like that, and the agents like, oh, this is next to here and here, and I said to the agents last time when we were in America, it was like, fuck all that. You come here, you put your flag down. You're the reason why, someone's got to be that brand who starts the street. You know what I mean? Like what End did in Soho. Like Soho was sleepy. It was dead. Yeah. End come, and now you can't get a store in Soho. Yeah. Someone's got to do that. Yeah. And like, the people who believe in their brands will do that. They'll create enough excitement in an area that becomes the new area. Someone's got to do it, and I think. Also, like, and that's what they've did holistically, whether it's with their, where they opened their store in Soho in New York, like that, there was no stores there on, I think it's in Mulberry or something. It's like, there was nothing there. They're there now. Yeah. Like, it's out the way of like the main mix in Soho. It's something that we all need to remind ourselves that, like, sometimes someone's got to do it first, and you should believe it, put your flag down. Yeah. And they've did that, with everything, with how they, and also I love how he captures and brings in people who he likes, whether it's when they do those kind of family-esque class photos and stuff, you know, and it just makes sense. It never looks forced. I mean, the caveat to all that is, now every fucker does it exactly like them, and it's like, and it's nauseating.
Yeah.
Every brand is doing that shit now. And one of the buyers come in, he went, fuck, and we were showing the editorial, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we were showing viewers, he's like, thank God it's not like fucking ALD. That's all I've fucking seen this
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
And it's like, everyone's doing this like...
I see it on Instagram, it's like,
oh yeah,
every brand is an ALD
yeah, the way it's short, square, and the family and the class stuff. And, and it's like, fuck me, man, like, boring, man. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's good. It's amazing.
But it's their thing.
But it's their thing. Yeah. Go and do your own thing. Even if it's not that good, make it good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why stop creating and stop innovating just to book on a trend in such a way that, like, you're just doing the same as everyone else?
Yeah.
It's like, for good or bad, we'll go and do our own thing. And we'll do it in our own way, for good or bad. Yeah. Because we're trying to be like us and no one else. Yeah. And I wish more people would do that, because the fashion landscape would look a lot more exciting, and there'd be a lot more new trends. You know, there's like 2 or 3 trends right now, and it's like, do you know what I mean? Like, see what like Demna does with Balenciaga. That's another version of that, where it's just like, that's his thing. Yeah. It's mental. It's amazing. You don't have to like it. You don't have to wear it, but you got to respect it for what it is. Yeah. But fuck me, the LD, it's been, I mean, I'm waiting for it to, like, you know, I'm like, just do something else. Everyone just copy someone else for a bit.
I reckon they'll have to change.
Yeah. And they will. Yeah. They will. And they'll keep changing, and it's evolved so much, you know, over the years, and they'll keep, it's almost changed a bit more recently. It's, as it's went global, you know, it's not as New York anymore, or it's not as, you know, I think with, I don't know if it's Cyprus or Greece, the kind of heritage that Teddy has, but that was the 2 landmarks for the ALD. Now it's a lot, you know, they've got a London store, there's a bit of London in there, but they've like encapsulated. Yeah. So naturally it'll innovate through that, but like, and naturally everyone will fucking follow, but I don't, it's always, I've always kind of, you know what I mean? Yeah. But and even the big brands, like big brands do it now. Them kind of, the photos with them like sitting, someone and their dog or someone and their girlfriend. Or coffee, it's like, that's ALD, just let them. Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was funny when he was like, it's not like ALD. I was like, yeah, we might make a bit more money if it was. Yeah. Fucking hell, it's been a busy week, man. Yeah, I wrote down a few little points about, but I think, I mean, there was so much I mean, so basically the collection didn't get delivered till Monday, essentially.
No, well, was it even Tuesday?
I don't even know.
Something was on Tuesday. You know, we went in, what day did we shoot?
We shot Wednesday.
And
everything came Monday, Tuesday from global suppliers. Yeah. But we had the stuff for the pop-up that was still in Portugal on Friday.
Correct.
So we had to send Charlie there with 2 suitcases on a fucking... I went, Charlie, what are you doing on Friday? He was like, oh, like, God. No, I said, Charlie, what are you doing Friday, Saturday? I hope you haven't got a date because you're going to Portugal, you. And he went, oh, yeah, no, I've seen a girl. I went, all right, well, she's gone with you then. Tell her to take a suitcase.
It's the only way to guarantee it, mate.
It's the only way to guarantee. So they go off, the fucking mission, brings it all back. We also sent it DHL. We sent it in so many different ways. And I was just thinking, like...
We had to spread the bets.
Yeah, we had to spread the bets. And I was a bit jealous, to be honest. It was like a bit of a mission that me and you would do back in the day, you know. But obviously we were going to like fucking Leicester or something, not fucking... Portugal. Yeah. But yeah, so there was like, naturally in Cole Buxton style, it wasn't as straightforward. All that gets forgotten about though, and I've forgotten about so much just because of how perfect it was in the end. Yeah.
Well, we didn't even speak about that, you know, it was...
No.
Yeah, I designed it in those 3 days, and then we had, 5 weeks until we were opening.
Yeah, when we say design, it was a CAD.
Yeah, it was a CAD. It wasn't made. It was, okay, well, now you've got 4.5 weeks, really. Or take shipping into account, you've got 4 weeks to get everything that we've picked that was just a drawing now has to be brought to life,
and
fit as a salesman sample. So a buyer's going to look at it and go, "Yeah, I want it."
I mean, we did
the
it.
hell? Oh, yeah, I mean, we did.
To be honest, our suppliers, our production partners, were fucking unbelievable with it. I couldn't thank them enough.
Yeah. No, I couldn't.
I know you couldn't. Head on a stick.
Yeah, head on a stick. Man. I felt it.
But yeah, I mean, I think going back to talking about, I think something I wrote down was how much I've enjoyed the space that we've created for ourselves of not dropping stuff so much over the last couple of months. And, you know, I think we'll still do, you know, a drop a month and stuff, but I want it to be more of a story, and I want to have products in there that maybe, you know, don't sell that well, but really tie in as a collection piece and to sell looks, and you know what I mean? And it's made me realise how much I want that the last 2 months by just not doing as many drops. And, you know, like, thankfully the brand's in a strong enough position where we've been able to do that over the last couple of months, and it hasn't harmed us really in any way, but like, at the same time, you still want to be dropping exciting product all the time. But I think that space we've created for ourselves is something we need to remember going forward, and to try and to stick to it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, just create that space for us so we're not on a treadmill all the time.
Yeah.
It's like you're working for the customer almost, and it's like, you know, you need to kind of wind it all back in.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And that's exactly what happened, you know. It was kind of, I touched on, you know, feeling disconnected and falling out with our own brand, and it was kind of, or falling out of love with our own brand, and it was, you know, a big factor of that was us literally bringing stuff out just to sell it, just because we know that product sells, and we've never done it in this colour, so that's this month's drop.
Yeah.
Not good.
No, it's boring. It's lazy. It's boring and lazy to us. It's still really good, but like, it's like, that's not where we want to be.
No.
You know, we want to be, you know, we want to be a fashion label, you know, and like, we are, but we want to be really, like, you know, like, we want to be competing with the designers that, you know, that we list when we talk about what our favourite designers are, you know, and where they are, and where we look at them. We look at them in a certain way, with a certain glamour around them and a certain prestige. Like, that's where we want to be. And that doesn't necessarily mean just going full on, like, you know, kind of
avant-garde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means that there's a foundation of amazing graphics and jersey as well in both these collections that we've got here. But we're not just dependent on that, you know. We want the whole thing, the whole pyramid.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I am excited about is the new graphics though for autumn, winter, and spring, summer. Like, I mean, they're fucking amazing. We haven't done any new graphics really in so long.
No.
And I feel like we've got, you know, like 4 or 5 like amazing, strong, real cool Buxton graphics.
That are so different to everything before.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Yeah.
I don't wear the graphic stuff. I'm going to be wearing this graphic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just so... It's not just us as Cole Buxton, but it's us as people.
But the first graphic stuff I saw you wear ever in so long was the Inside Out Arch logo that you've been wearing that comes out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Like, I fucking love that t-shirt.
It's fucking sick. And that is very like leaning on some of the direction with a lot of the prints for next season, the season after. And that's why I wrote that thing down. Is when I see you wear that, I'm like, that means it's good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That means
love that.
It's fucking. That means it's a winner.
Yeah.
You know. Because like, I will believe in it no matter what.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. You know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that is a thing. That is a sign for me.
Yeah. And sometimes you just got to look at pieces and think, you know, even in brands that we idolise and designers that we idolise, you know, there's stuff that we buy from them brands, or the stuff that you pick up off the rail that you look at and go, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I bet they've sold 3 of them.
Yeah.
And those pieces have to exist.
100%. And it's funny because a lot of the buyers who come in were like, this is all amazing, like, but you have got some like graphic stuff as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm like, don't worry. There's loads of black hoodies. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was like, don't worry, because that's the reality.
Yeah.
Is that all this is like 30, maybe 40% of the actual buy. That 60% is the Cole Buxton graphics.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with that 60% now as well. I think it's new, it's exciting. It's not like anything else anyone else is doing.
Yeah, and it's not like anything we've done.
No, but it still has the essence of Cole Buxton. What I also want to talk about is the new that new page that someone started. I think it's the same guy who has the other page, the Whole Lot of London page, which is like the best visual diary, I think, of what's happening in our kind of like London scene that we've been adopted by. And there's a Cole Buxton Files now, which I think is the same guy, because it's got that same curation.
It's all the little moments that he captures, and it's only stuff off our story and that, but it's like
it's the way, it's just the way, and it's really not,
good.
They're not perfect images or anything. But when you look at it as all of the shots together, it's almost when you looked at this collection, you go like each individual one of those photos, you're like, but he's kind of just got it like so well.
Yeah.
And that Whole Lot of London page now is just like my favourite page. As I think like that's the most like that is the third eye into like kind of what's good and what's happening, and he captures the energy of like what everyone's trying to do at the minute. And it's very funny how everything goes together. You've got like maybe 4 or 5 or 6 brands or people doing things that he's kind of adding to that like mood board or feed, and it's like, but it all goes together.
Yeah.
It's fucking sick.
No, it's sick. And I kind of use it as a reminder of what we've even done.
Yeah.
Because he posts them like after we've done stuff, and it's things off our story that obviously disappear and they're not on our feed, and it's stuff that we wouldn't post.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you go, oh yeah, God, I forgot I did that. Like,
yeah. No,
it's sick.
It's so sick. I love that page. It's fucking. I just wanted to give it a shout out because like.
No, it deserves a shout out.
Under the radar in ways, but like at the same time, like everyone, if you know, you know, kind of thing. You know. We've got a drop on Friday.
Yeah.
We had a UVU drop on Sunday.
Yeah.
We had a Cole Buxton pop up last Tuesday.
Yeah.
We had a UVU pop up last Saturday.
Yeah.
All in different countries, different times.
Showroom this week.
I'm fucking white flagging it at the minute.
That's it. Throwing towel in.
I'm close to like aeroplane. I mean, well, yesterday I aeroplane moded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to text me and see if I was still alive.
Yeah, anxiety was kicking in. I was like, I was going to knock on his hotel room door in a minute. See what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I just needed space. I just turned my phone off.
Yeah. You need it though, man. It's been not just a big week, but it's been a big month. It's been a huge month. There's so much pressure riding on, and like, it's kind of, it's not, let's go and have a month off now, but there's a bit of relief that this week is now done.
Yeah, definitely a little holiday.
And it was a success. Yeah. It wasn't a, let's show 100 warm-up it is. It was...
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, I'm fucking... Oh yeah, by the way, I just want to say, fucking everyone's fucking copying our fucking UVU half tights cut off thing. You can all fuck off.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't normally do that, but you can.
It hasn't gone on notice.
I'll fucking tell you who fucking started it, Peter John. He's our muse, and he's no one else's muse. You know, he's fucking Peter John. He started that shit, and he fucking showed us how to dress in a way that for training.
Started the trend, by the way, not the copying.
Started the trend.
Yeah.
And we've been dressing like that ever since, to the point where people used to think it was a bit weird in the gym when a bloke's wearing half tights with his bollocks out,
Yeah.
Fucking now he's like, fucking us.
Yeah. It's Peter John, who actually we need to shout out Peter John right now because he looks unbelievable. Yeah. The guy's had a transformation, hasn't he?
Yeah, and his brand launches whenever he gets around to launching it. But what Pete's done. Pete is an unsung hero to a lot of people, and he is a lot of people's, I don't use the word muse ever really, but he was such a muse for the UVU aesthetic and such a muse for Cole Buxton in a lot of ways as well. Probably more so on a personal level of how we dress. and how we put things together. He's got such an individual style. I think his brand's going to do really well. I think there's some stuff what's a bit wacky there, but there's always been stuff what Pete's wore where you go, what the fuck? And then you get it a year later.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the best, the most purest form of fashion is when people don't get it, and then they eventually get and we're lucky enough that he's worked for us. He's been part of the journey. We are all a part of the same journey together, and we're lucky of all the amazing people in our friend group. But Pete's definitely like somebody who is now going to go off and do his own thing with his own brand, and obviously we'll support him like fuck. But I just wanted to make sure he is that muse for us.
He is, and even for me on a personal level, I've known Pete for a long time.
Yeah.
Pete's from Derby.
Yeah.
In fact, it was Ben who showed me Pete years ago, and Ben was like, have you seen this fucking geezer from Derby? Don't know who he is, never met him, never even heard of him. How's he from fucking Ripley?
Yeah.
And he was like, long hair, Rick Owens, Acne Studios, at the time, brands I'd never even heard of.
Yeah.
And then the reason that we'd never heard of him is because he was in the military and he was away all the time. Yeah. So we'd never bumped into him.
Fighting the good fight.
Fighting the good fight. And then Ben went and met him, and then he was like, yo, I met that Pete the other day, he's fucking sick. And then I met him with Ben. And then we've been
I
friends
fucking met him in Newcastle when I used to run Loop.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because he will travel to the end of the earth for a party, that's
why. Well, how do I know Pete? Independently of you, he's from fucking Derby.
Yeah.
You know him, but why do I know him as well?
No, I know.
From that, I should have known him through you.
Yeah.
I knew him independently.
Doesn't make sense.
And so did Eddie.
Yeah.
Away from you.
Yeah, it did.
So how did we all know Pete independently? How?
For different reasons
For different reasons. And then we all meet. I remember the day we all met up in London. Yeah. His big Arc'teryx bag.
Yeah.
His big Valence bag. Yeah. And it was like we were all mates, but we all knew each other for different, it was bizarre.
Very odd.
And he'd come up to Newcastle and party and then go home, and that's how I knew him. I knew him as that fucking mad cunt Pete. Weird, but I don't know. I think that's a perfect way to just end the conversation on his thing's launching soon. We'll obviously be supporting it and we'll be posting it up, but and there's other brands who have also, whether they admit it or not, have used Pete like that as well. He's an incredible muse, a very different aesthetic, character, everything, but more importantly, heart of gold, and has helped everyone who he's touched out so much over the years. But more importantly, a fucking cool cunt.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Effortlessly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think on that note, we better get the Eurostar.
Yeah, I think we have. A bit behind. I enjoyed that one. I did. What a week. What a week, brother.
Fuck me, man.
What a week, man.
Oh. Lex Ola's.
Oh.
Forgot her.
And we're back. Encore. I'm back a hat.
Yeah, I don't know what, but I've got them on.
Yeah.
They're launching next month.
Lex Ola's. Are they launching next month? We're gonna have them.
Yeah, they're getting sent next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 colours.
Lex Ola collaboration. Yeah. Zane's obviously again an old friend of ours.
Yeah.
Been amazing to do something. I mean, we've been planning this for how long?
Years.
Too long.
Man. Fuck me. And we've grown together. We had an office together in the same kind of building all those years ago. COVID, we were very much spent a lot of time helping each other out. Another one of our friends doing amazing things, and mostly all the collabs we'll do, it will be with our amazing friends doing the cool shit. So I think I guess.
And they're fucking amazing glasses.
Yeah,
we've
wore the fuck out of them for the last few months.
Yeah,
it's been so frustrating waiting for them to launch.
I know. Yeah.
Everyone asking about them, but they're coming.
They're coming. 3 colours.
That's it. But anyway.
Thank you for watching and listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Or au revoir.
All right. Are you getting the train back with us? Yeah. All right then. It was good, that.
Is that good?
That was sick.
You like that?
Yeah, it's really good. I think you were both nervous at the beginning, weren't you? Or
I was just
a bit.
But
I was
do you know what?
knackered and
the more it's like that,
Yeah.
and then you get into it, and I just think you can just be that transparent. That's why I just